Darling, you do look stunning. You look divine, darling." Those words captured the glamorous friendship on screen, but behind the laughter, Vivian Vance's story was much darker. For decades, fans believed she signed a contract to gain weight just to make Lucille Ball look thinner, but that was a myth Lucy made up as a joke at a party. The truth was far more painful. Vivian endured abuse, black eyes, and deep resentment toward her co-star. When he died, she famously celebrated with champagne. The industry buried these truths for decades, but now her story is finally coming to light. Vivian Roberta Jones was born on July 26, 1909, in Cherryvale, Kansas, the second of 6 children in a strict Methodist household. Her mother disapproved of acting and often warned that performing would send her straight to hell. Vivian's natural love for entertaining clashed with her mother's beliefs, and every spark of joy she showed was quickly crushed. That tension shaped her spirit, leaving her constantly fighting to be herself. When the family moved to Independence, Kansas, she began sneaking out at night to perform. At school, a drama teacher named Anna Engelman encouraged her, and classmates began calling her Vive. Eventually, she shed her family name and became Vivian Vance, inspired by folklorist Vance Randolph. With that, she cut ties with her family's control and pursued her own destiny. In 1930, at 21, Vivian joined the Albuquerque Little Theater, where her performances made such an impact that locals called it the Vivian Vance Playhouse. The community even raised money to send her to New York. With just $50 and a suitcase, she chased her dream, working as a waitress by day and auditioning by night. Her persistence paid off in 1932 with a chorus role in Music in the Air. Over time, she built her Broadway career, performing in shows like Hooray for What? And Let's Face It alongside Danny Kaye and Eve Arden. She became a respected actress, but her personal life was troubled. At 19, she married Joseph Danek Jr., a jealous man who abandoned her within 3 years. Her second marriage to actor Philip Ober in 1941 turned abusive as he resented her success. By 1945, the strain caused Vivian to suffer a breakdown while touring. She entered therapy, a decision that helped her rebuild her life and eventually led her to support others in psychiatric hospitals. Despite setbacks, she persisted in her career, moving to California and appearing in a few films, though television soon changed her path. In 1951, she was cast as Ethel Mertz in I Love Lucy. Although her performance would become legendary, she faced humiliations behind the scenes. Lucille Ball initially thought Vivian was too young and too pretty to play her frumpy neighbor, so the studio forced her into tight clothes and unflattering makeup to dull her appearance. The supposed weight gain contract was a myth, but Vivian was still pressured to appear less glamorous than she really was. Her on-screen husband, William Frawley, was 22 years older and an alcoholic. From their first meeting, Vivian disliked him and once remarked that he looked like her grandfather, not her husband. Frawley overheard and never forgave her, and their mutual hatred became legendary. Their tension was so real that, when Frawley died in 1966, Vivian celebrated with champagne rather than mourning. Despite this, she and Lucy developed genuine comedic chemistry, and in 1954, Vivian became the first woman to win an Emmy for Outstanding Supporting Actress, a new category created because of her. Still, the fame trapped her in the shadow of Ethel, making it difficult to move beyond the role. Vivian's success also brought struggles. The Chocolate Factory episode, one of television's most beloved moments, left her physically ill from eating chocolate in repeated takes. Fame also stripped away her privacy. Fans followed her in public, and threatening letters poured in. She rejected a lucrative spin-off with Frawley, unwilling to endure working with him any longer. Instead, she joined The Lucy Show in 1962, negotiating for higher pay and more respect. But by 1965, feeling stifled, she walked away from the show at the height of success. The following years were filled with both attempts at reinvention and painful setbacks. She was fired from Woody Allen's Broadway play Don't Drink the Water in 1966, a humiliating blow. Later, She appeared in commercials, most notably as the friendly face of Maxwell House Coffee. She reunited with Lucy in the 1977 special Lucy Calls the President, though by then she was already battling cancer. Behind her career, Vivian endured years of abuse, illness, and heartbreak. Her marriages left her scarred, with Ober's violent jealousy leaving her bruised even on the I Love Lucy set. She quietly battled anxiety, depression, and multiple breakdowns, long before mental health was openly discussed. She also suffered the sorrow of infertility, once miscarrying and never able to carry a child. Though she poured her love into Lucy's children and young actresses she mentored, the emptiness weighed heavily on her. In 1973, Vivian was diagnosed with breast cancer. She underwent a mastectomy and chemotherapy, but the disease spread to her bones. Even as her health declined, she continued to work, hiding her pain from the public. She revealed in later interviews how much she hated being forced into unflattering costumes and makeup on I Love Lucy, a decision that fueled her insecurities. In her final days, Lucy visited her at home in Belvedere, California. They laughed, cried, and shared one last afternoon together. When Lucy left, she was devastated, knowing she was losing her comedic soulmate. On August 17, 1979, Vivian Vance passed away at 70. She left behind letters exposing how Hollywood had limited her, blocking her from directing and confining her to roles that stifled her talent. Vivian's story is not just about laughter on screen. It's about survival, resilience, and the quiet strength of a woman who gave the world joy while silently fighting her own battles. She was more than Ethel Mertz. She was a trailblazer, an Emmy winner, and a woman who never stopped fighting to be herself.